Welcome back for this week's Human Design Transit Report. Today is April 3rd, and the new transit starts on Wednesday, April 5th. That's what we're going to focus on today. But if you want to see what's happening today and tomorrow, then you can go ahead and watch last week's transit report here. But we're going to dive into a really, really interesting and potent transit that starts on Wednesday. Okay, let's get started. Well, we've got a bunch of interesting stuff going on today, so I'm going to talk about more than just what's happening with the sun and the earth. So first off, the nodes have changed position. So the nodes of the moon are actually where the orbit of the moon passes over that of the sun. It's technical, you don't have to know, but it's not a planet and it's not a location like on the moon. Like when I first heard about the nodes, I thought it was on the moon, somewhere on the moon. No, that's not what it is. But they're very important for us in terms of understanding kind of the energies that we came in with. This is in our own chart, the energies we came in with, and then also what we're leaning into more in the second half of our life, especially after the Uranus opposition around age 40. So here we've got the nodes have now moved into the 43-23. So let's talk about this. There's a lot of activations that are happening in the knowing circuit during this transit. And the 43-23 is right here. It's connecting the ajna to the throat. So we've got two defined centers that are happening right here. And we've also got the 24 here. So the 24 is helping bring in that information through the knowing circuit. And Uranus is lighting up the 24. So the 24 is receiving this transmission, right? And bringing it down through the ajna and then down into be expressed through the throat. So the knowing circuit is part of individual circuitry. It's kind of the most out there energy, really. It's here to be different. It's here to bring change. It doesn't fit in, and it's where really leading edge breakthrough ideas come in. It's where the evolutionary impulse of humanity runs through the chart. And so the ideas that come in here, sometimes they're considered pretty far out there, which is why the 43-23 is kind of affectionately known as the genius freak gate, because depending on when you share what it is that you're getting through this circuit, it can be received as really freaky, really out there, really, where's that coming from? No, that can't be true. Or whether it's going to be like, wow, that is genius. Where did you come up with that? The thing about the knowing circuit is that you just download, you just know things. It's not like something you learn anywhere. You don't learn it from somebody. You didn't read about it. You don't watch a YouTube video about it. It's like none of that stuff. It's about our direct connection to the all that is, to the creative intelligence of the universe, which is why in quantum human design, it's been renamed as the Gnostic circuit. Okay, so Gnostic is like directly connected to source, to spirit, to God. Okay, that's what that is. We've got all this energy coming in here, and the nodes are lighting it up. And so for the next few months, we're going to have this energy really lit up in our charts. I know for me, I have the 43, but not the 23. So what's going to happen for me is it's going to define my throat. So it'll make it even easier for me potentially to be expressing the leading edge out of the box ideas that I have all the time. And so that'll be a boon for me. And then it's going to come down and around to the 57, which is what the earth is lighting up. So the 57 is on the spleen. And just remember that all of the gates of the spleen are going to be fear gates, because the spleen is the center for instinct, intuition, the immune system, and right timing. And the instinctual aspect of it can create fear inside of us. Usually it's just old residue. It's not really very accurate. The fears of the spleen can be beneficial to us if it's registering real and present danger. So you want to be like, okay, is this actually happening, or is it going to happen like tomorrow? It needs to be present. It needs to be like happening very, very soon, or literally in your environs right now. If it's something that's been hanging around for a long time, that's not a genuine spleen fear. It's probably more something that's cycling here. So the fear of the 57 is the fear of the future, which you can imagine if you are highly intuitive, that sometimes the fear of the future comes in because you might see things in the future that you don't necessarily understand. You can feel things, right? But you want to have that reality check for yourself and be like, is is there really something to be afraid of here or not? Or am I just making this up? Or am I fueling fears of the future that I don't need to fuel? I'll come back to that in a minute. So we've got that 57 lit up by the Earth, but it's also being lit up by Mercury. And Mercury helps us to talk about things, or it's about communication. So it's about what we're going to talk about. It's what we're going to communicate about. It's what we're going to teach about, right? Whether we're formally teaching or not. And so we really want to be clear that what we're expressing here is clear intuition and not fear-tinged instinct. So that's what you really want to watch out for. Then the sun is lighting up the gate 51. The gate 51 is on the will center, and it's a really potent energy. So in traditional human design, it's known as the gate of shock. Yes, shock. And in quantum human design, it's known as the gate of initiation. It is half of the channel of the priest or priestess or the shaman. And so it is a very spiritual energy, particularly when it's connected to the 25, which is its mate. And its shadow expression is to either say shocking things or to create shocking situations. Now, I know I have this defined in my chart. When I was younger, I experienced that a lot. I also experienced the disempowered aspect of it, which was to receive shocking experiences or to have people say shocking things to me. I had no idea what was going on. But in its awakened and empowered expression, that 51 is about initiating into higher consciousness, which has also been a theme for me throughout my life, because I have been all about steadying consciousness and helping to elevate consciousness in myself and the people that I work with and the people around me as much as possible. Really, my whole life, it's kind of been my gig, is consciousness. And so the idea of having this lit up that helps us to create a breakthrough in ourselves first, right? Because we really want to practice that and get really good at that, knowing how to generate a breakthrough for ourselves, especially if you're feeling stagnant or you're feeling stuck, or if you're in a, you're kind of in a gnarly place and you're like, fighting or seeing things as being really critical, right? You want to generate a breakthrough for yourself so that you can get into a higher elevation in your consciousness. So with that 51, it's a tricky energy, because you might find that other people are saying things that are shocking or are creating shocking situations, or they're receiving them. And you want to protect yourself from that by realizing, those are the kind of the off expressions of that energy. And if you're constantly kind of going, okay, where's the breakthrough coming here for me? Or how can I help generate a breakthrough for clients, for example? If you're somebody who does the kind of work that I do, transformational work, you work with clients, you work with participants in your programs, whatever it might be, this can be a very, very beneficial energy to you, because it can help you to elevate people that way. And sometimes the pattern interrupt, which is a critical component of any kind of initiation, can be shocking. But if it's delivered with compassion and love at the right time, when somebody's ready and when they're asking for it, which is what clients are asking for support, right? Then it can be incredibly empowering and mind-opening and just hugely beneficial for the people that you work with. So it's important to know that you're grounding yourself in true intuition, though, and you're not grounding yourself in the fear of the future, right? And you're not like projecting the fear of the future onto other people and having that muck up your ability to help other people have a breakthrough. So you can see how this could easily go sideways if you're not really paying attention to the different possibilities of how these energies will get activated. One way that we see this in culture today is in too many movies and television shows where we've got the fear of the future, right? Aliens are going to come and take over the planet, or we're going to have world war, or we're going to have famine, or methane's going to take over the planet. And I also want to just say, side note, I don't know about the aliens, but yeah, our Earth does need us to wake up. It does need us to initiate a breakthrough and come into higher consciousness. That is real. And at the same time, we've just got way too many stories out there about, how everything's going to break down, and we're not looking at where can we have a breakthrough. I mean, the best that we're doing in a lot of places is having superheroes, right? It's like, okay. I mean, I like to talk about our superpowers because I believe like this energy that's coming in through this knowing circuit, this ability to receive these breakthrough ideas and to think out of the box and have a really different way of imagining how reality could unfold for us. Those are superpowers. Okay. But you have the ability to do that. I have the ability to do that. That isn't something that only special people have, or if they've had some special, experience that's turned them into a more than human person. We all have the capacity to do this. And this is really being lit up during this particular transit. Now, to top it off, if that wasn't enough, we've got Mars and Saturn lighting up the gate 49. Okay. So the gate 49 is emotional energy. It's on the emotional solar plexus. It's in the tribal circuit, the commerce part of the tribal circuit. And it is all about relationships because tribal circuitry is about relationships. If we think about our more intimate, close-in relationships, then this often has to do with are those relationships working or not? Do they need a revolution in order for them to become more upgraded, for them to be more honest, to be more transparent, to be more supportive, right? To be more loving, to be more kind, all of those things, right? And so sometimes we need a revolution for that to happen. It's also known as the gate of principles. So it's like, what are the principles upon which we have our relationships? And are we in alignment with each other about that? And so here we've got Mars, the spiritual warrior, right? And we're in the time of Mars because we're in the time of Aries. Then we've got Saturn, who's the great teacher, who's bringing us life lessons and who is saying, okay, we've got that 49 lit up. They're both challenging us to take a look at our relationships. And this is not just like with our beloveds or our kids or parents or whatever. It's about like the tribe, however you define your tribe. And, we have global tribes now, right? Based on the internet. I mean, a lot of you who are watching this video are part of my tribe and you're all over the world, right? So the tribes are configured differently than when we were people who, lived 100 people, to a tribe, right? 150, 200 people to a tribe. That was a long time ago in a lot of situations. And so now our tribes are very different. And the question is what principles are we having relationships with? What are the principles upon which our tribes are working? Are they ones that are promoting compassion and caring and being more equitable, being more just, being more fair, being more kind, right? And yes, being transparent, being honest, being in integrity. These are all principles that I live by, that I want to have with the people who are in my tribe. And if they're not, if you're in tribal relationships that are not in alignment with the principles that you live by, it's cause for a revolution. And so I think, this is really potent energy. And I would like to think that this is coming in to say, hey, look, we need to be more open to the downloads and the guidance that can come to us from superconsciousness, from the creative intelligence of the universe that's coming to us through this knowing circuit that is going to enable us to see a different way how to recreate our cultures more on principles that are in alignment with what we really desire and what we really believe in. And so, Saturn is kind of going, hey, you guys got to get it together now. You guys got it's like no more messing around. And Mars is here saying, okay, I'm the spiritual warrior. I've got the inner metal to do it. I've got the power to do it. I'm not going to do it violently, but I am going to do it with a lot of inner strength. And I'm going to put a stake in the ground and I'm going to be, this is what I stand for. Okay, so we got some really potent stuff going on in here, and I encourage you to go and compare this to your chart, see what's already defined in your chart, what's open, because what's open is what you're going to feel the most. And take this time, do some journaling, do some inner inquiry, and really ask yourself, okay, what am I doing in my life? Am I on track? Am I on purpose? Am I just tolerating things? Am I medicating myself with, whatever, an entertainment? Or am I really doing what I came here to do? Am I allowing myself to fully express what it is that I believe in, and that are the values and the principles that I would like to help create a new world based in. Also, coming up in April, I don't have a date yet, I'm going to do another Chart-a-Thon. I passed 4,000 subscribers. It kind of snuck up on me, and then I blew right by it a few weeks ago, and it keeps climbing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please do subscribe. Please do give it a like and leave a comment. I love it when you do that, and so does the algorithm. So please keep doing that. And the Chart-a-Thon is just such a crowd pleaser. I mean, every time I put out a poll and say, do you want me to do a live Q&A, ask me anything, or do you want me to do sacral sessions with people so you can watch and see what that's like? And it's like, no, the Chart-a-Thon wins every time. So I'm going to do a Chart-a-Thon. I will do it live on YouTube. I kind of have to figure out how to do that, but I'm going to do it live on YouTube, and then I will post it inside of my community, the Becoming Sovereign community. So you will be able to get their replay if you can't go there live. But then you can also submit your chart as one that I might read while I'm speed reading, and it'll be really fun. It's always really fun. People just get such a kick out of it, and I do too. Okay, so stay tuned for that one. All right, many blessings. Much love. Bye for now.